Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Pramod Pandey and this is the very first lecture which you will be having for your ACCA F4 paper. The variant that we're going to deal is the global variant. I will be dealing or talking about what are the variant that we do have and how we can ensure that we are working the right variant and we are studying the same thing that we have worked for. Because ultimately the worst that could happen is that you are going to study the global variant and booking the English variant or other variant for your paper. So that this is something not to mislead about. This is something to take care of. Okay. The very first class that talks about the orientation class, I will be talking about basically the format of the paper, and there's certain other things, the timeline, the syllabus, and other things that I've planned, and what will be the strategy that we're going to follow. I have some planned do and don't things which I want you to put your head and just focus on them. Then I will be following up about the syllabus and how we're going to follow up. So this is basically the planner which I have planned, and I will be sharing this with you in the group only so that you would be having a convenient. Or I think as Siddhant has suggested, I will be putting this on the Google Drive. So I think that will work for both of you. Is it okay?
Yes.
Sure. So if we talk about the exam and the format, it will be 100 marks exam that and out of the 100 marks, you will be having two sections, section A and section B. Section A would be having 45 questions. Some question will be of 2 marks, some question will be of 1 marks. Okay. And these are the multiple choice questions. That counts of 70% of your paper. Now there are the two type of the question that will be there. There are the two perception that comes in your section A when we talk about. Some question will be asking about the concept. Okay. Some requirement, something will require you to have a concept knowledge. You must know the terminologies. Some question will be requiring you to have a basic understanding of the topic. If I say that in your ACC paper or more typically your knowledge level paper, you basically either see the definition or the concept building or the terminologies, or sometimes you may see the scenario based question on them. So if I ask Siddhant to you, could it be possible that can we have a question, can we have a scenario based question in section A? Hello?
What? Sorry?
I wanted to know, could it possible for us to have a scenario based question in section A?
Yeah, sometimes we do.
Hmm. Hello?
What do you mean
You want?
by scenario based?
So
Yeah,
this is the question
it's
itself.
like,
Yeah, basically what happened is that in your section B, you will be having a multiple task question, and that will be a case study which will be provided to you. Okay?
okay.
Please acknowledge time. So it would be a great and goes smoothly. So we
Yeah,
will
yeah,
be
no,
having
I
a
got
case
totally
study.
fine.
Yeah, it will be a case
Okay.
study. But in your section A, when you will be having a 45 marks requirement in total, where you will be having a 2 marks requirement and 1 marks requirement, you might see some of the questions which are based on the scenario based. But the scenario will be of a single line. Okay. Are you able to catch what
Okay.
I'm trying to convey?
Yeah,
So here you will be having a full case study. Okay. But here you might have
yeah.
a single line where they have given the single line as a case or the scenario. Out of that context, you have to choose the selected answer. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's just like a small case study in
Yeah,
a sentence.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So in your section A, you might only see the sentence which is given and sentence itself a case study. Okay. A scenario itself, a better what to call. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you will be having a scenario based question across your paper, 100 marks. Now, if I ask you, most probably the chances of testing the scenario based question will be of 2 marks, right? Yes or no? Because ultimately the
Yes.
scenario will be requiring you to have some analysis, right? It will require you to run your mind. And that what takes time. So that's why some of the 2 marks question that will be in your paper will be the scenario based. Okay.
Okay.
And the 5 marks, 5 multiple task question which will be there will all together a case study a full paragraph case study which will be there, and that what you have to read, analyze, and then try to attempt it. Okay. In your section B, this one I'm talking about, sometime you will see the requirement are 3, sometime you will see the requirement are 2. Okay. If the requirement are 3, it does mean that every requirement carry 2 marks. Okay. But sometime you will see the requirement are just 2. In that case, one requirement will be of 4 marks, one requirement will be of 2 marks. Okay. So can I say this? This 30 is nothing but the sum of 5 into 6. Hana? Hello?
I didn't get the requirement part.
Which one?
The 3, 2
Okay,
and the 4, 2.
sure. I will explain this to again. So are you clear on this? The very first one, 45 marks requirement can be tested for a 2 marks question as well, and can be tested for 1 marks question as well. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Are you clear on that?
Yes.
Sure. So they will be 20 marks, and then they will be close to, you will see in the paper that I think this is not 20. Yes. So 20 question will be of 2 marks. Okay. That makes 40. I think it would be better if we just go on the number of the question later on. But for the timing, if I explain this to you, so it would be that you will be given the 5 different cases study. Some cases study will be like that. You have a 3 requirement of 2 marks each. Okay. Hello, Samvit.
Okay, like small case studies like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You will
2 marks
see
each. Okay.
something. Each question means you will be having some requirement. Each requirement will be asking you for the 2 marks. But it could possible that you will see some requirement will be only 2. There will be 2 requirement in some of the case study out of the 5. If the total
Okay.
number of the requirement are 2, in that case, one requirement will be of 4 marks and one requirement will be of 2 marks. That makes
2
6 marks in
marks.
total. Hana?
Okay. Yeah, got it. Understood.
6 into 5, that makes 30 marks. So this is what your section B portion, 30 marks, and 70 marks is basically the portion that you will be having for the section A. Is that clear to you? Are you okay with the how
Yes.
the paper will be setted out? And you will see
Yes.
some thing very common that in your 1 marks question, you might be asking about the concept. There's different concept, there are different terminologies about the legal concept. So if those are the requirement, you might see that in the exam kit as well, those are just for 1 marks, because the easy marks that you will be having for easy requirement. When there isn't 2 marks requirement, so in that case, you will be having the requirement which will require you to work extra inches, and in that case, you would be giving some extra effort to analyze the case or the scenario or the sentence which is given, and then look after the answer. Is that okay?
Yes.
But one thing is common, that scenario-based question will be there across section A and section B. Now, if we talk about that paper will be of 2 hours, but what I can say right now is that you won't be taking, this is more than enough time for you to prepare or appear for the exam and just complete your paper. This is more than enough time. The exam time is 2 hours. There is nothing about subjective. Okay, so 100 marks will be there, and all 100 marks will be based out of your MCQ type. Okay, multiple choice question. So there will be nothing that you have to write about. Okay, there used to be a time when the exam in your law paper was something where you have to write.
So even in
Siddhant,
case studies, there are even in case
in the
studies
case
there will be
studies,
MCQs.
yeah, there will be MCQs.
Okay.
All 100. There is nothing that you have to use the keyboard. Okay, you just need a
Okay.
mouse there.
You just need to select the answers.
Exactly. Are you clear on the basic thing that I'm trying to convey?
Yes. Yeah.
Now there is one more thing that I want to talk about. There is no option in these questions. Okay, the examination conduct 100% compulsory questions, and a student must study across the breadth of the syllabus. So they are basically trying to convey that you have to study each portion of the syllabus. There is nothing that you can think of, okay, we can going to expel this out of the syllabus and we are not going to cover that. So we will be covering everything. But one thing to show for that they won't be any requirement where they will be asking you for something to write. But when you will be going to the ACC Study Hub, which is basically the study material platform which is approved or basically presented by the ACC itself, there will be some requirement where you have to type subjective requirement in your F4 paper. So do not get diverted by them. Is that okay?
Okay.
Siddhant?
Okay.
Because this is your third paper of the skill label. So what I'm expecting that you know what I'm talking about when I say subjective or MCQ.
Yeah, I know. Like section C, there's no section C in this paper.
Exactly. So there won't be any section C here, but in your ACC Studio, which is basically the ACC study material platform, so there are some requirements. So you just try to ignore them. There is nothing that you have to waste about. Okay. And we won't be doing any questions from there. Are you clear on that?
So in the
In your
ACCA study material, there are subjective type questions, but we ignore.
Yeah, we have to ignore that for your law
Okay.
paper. For your law paper.
Okay.
Okay. I'm talking about very
Okay.
specific to the law. And you have to score 50% of the marks. That will be the passing marks across like all of your ACC papers, right? So what I mean to convey, do you need to pass a separate section for this? No. Out of the 100 marks that you're going to attempt, you have to ensure that you're getting at least 50, be it from the section A, be it from the section B. Okay. But typically you will see section B will be little harder. Okay. So try to score maximum out of those 70 marks requirement. Even though the 2 marks requirement that we will be having from here, from section A, will be a subjective one, will be not a subjective one, which will be a case or scenario based, right? The 2 marks requirement. But if I ask you this question, it would be easier for you to interpret or just try to understand a single sentence or at a place of the paragraph. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Hana? Siddhant?
Yes, sir.
So exactly this is what I mean to convey. So we will be focusing on things that will give us a basic understanding how we're going to interpret the case. And they are the things that we have to take care of. But what I mean or what I would be requesting to you that try to score maximum marks out of this area. Okay.
So there are two sections, section A, section B.
Hmm.
Section A is 70 marks, section B is 30 marks.
Yes.
Okay.
And we will be trying to covering 100% of the syllabus area. We will not be letting anything go. But what I mean to convey, when you're going to sit for the exam, ensure that you're passing or having a strong ground on this area. It doesn't mean that you will not be focusing on this section B, but you should not miss any possibility of losing any marks on this 70 marks. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Now we'll be moving ahead. So are you clear on like there will be 2 hours papers about the paper scenario, like what is a skeleton of the paper and what they basically
Yes.
talk about and
Yeah.
what is an on-demand basis. So on-demand basis is like that. Siddhant might be doing that when you are prepare for the exam. So you can go and book your exam within a week of time. You will be having a seat where you have to go to the center or you can attempt it remotely. Then you can go or, give your exam. Okay. So you do not have to wait for months to come to appear for the exam. Now there are the few things which I want you to convey, like what are the do and don't things, which are very specifically to this paper, the one that we're going to deal. Do and don'ts. So ultimately, there is a reason why you will be studying the law paper. And this is the only single paper in your ACC 13 papers which talk about the law. Siddhant, if I ask you that you are going to be an employee of a company, so there will be some employment contract, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, so have you gone through some of the contract or have you gone through the offer letter or something like that?
Yeah, there are some do's and don'ts.
No, I mean to convey, I want to know that have you been through the employment letter or the letter of the intent, which is basically the initial thing that you get?
Yeah.
So this is a legal document, okay?
Yes.
because you are a graduate, so you are in a capability to read that and understand what it mean to convey. Yes or no?
Yes.
But if when someone is coming after the 12th, would they be able to in a position to know about what is this contact, and would they be in a position to know the essence of that the latter or something that which you have been through?
Mm, could you give like an example or something like what you're looking for?
Sure. So basically, if I am someone who has passed this 12th and I don't know about the legal terms and the legal concept, so would I be in a position to read the letter of intent perfectly or not? Would I be able to
No.
understand the sense of it? Huh?
No.
Okay. So probably after 10 years, when you're going to start something like your company, when you're going to be an entrepreneur, so there will be so many legal things that you have to do, like registration of the company, and there's a certain other things which you will be having. Yes or no?
Yes.
So there will be so many things. First of all, you obviously you are going to hire some lawyer on your perspective, है ना? But you should be in a position to understand what is happening around you, है ना? If lawyer is saying something, so you should understand what he's trying to convey.
Yes.
And that can only be possible when you are well settled or well aware with the keywords, the key terminologies. Is I'm correct saying this or not?
Yes, correct.
Hana? So this is the only paper has an doing ACCA we becomes the global accountant, Hana? Are you understanding what I mean to convey? After
Yes,
an
yes.
ACCA we becomes the global accountant.
Yes.
You have never seen anyone saying this that you will become the global lawyer after completing ACCA. Is it possible? No.
It is possible. I mean, it is supposed to be a global certification.
No, I mean to convey that I mean to know that would it be possible for you to, or have you seen some people who has just done ACCA or they are just becoming the lawyer?
Oh, no, no, no.
No, na. So this is what I mean to convey. As an ACCA, you will be becoming a global accountant or something like that into the finance field, but you will not be going. This is what the exceptions are there, but this is what you're supposed to know that after an ACCA, you would not supposed to be the lawyer, and because ACCA itself says that after giving this paper, we are not expecting you to be the lawyer. Okay, this paper is just given to you to know know or understand what is happening in the legal world. For an example, you're going to be an employee or into an employment contract. So if you don't know that how to read the employment contract, in that case you don't know the essence of that document. But if any legal liability will arise, so you have to pay the penalties. Yes or no?
Yes.
They would not be seeing that whether you know about this or not. They will not be considering this fact. So the two major
Yes.
difficulties in the law paper is that understanding the context of the statement which is there, because this is slightly different from what you basically understand after reading a sentence in English. Okay, there is a slight change in what you understand in the English and what do you understand in the law. Is it okay?
No. Yeah.
Hana? Huh. First thing. Second thing, we have to work on the vocabulary. Okay. So basically, I have some issues with the pronouncing. So if you guys would not be clear with anything, so do ask me. No, I will be repeating that again. Okay. If anything that you feel okay, that word was not clear. Okay. Sure. So now by this time you have a basic understanding what is basically why we are required to know about the law, because it is a necessity. Hana? It is not the want, desire. No, it is a necessity that you must know some basic about the law, the legal concept, and this is what your subjective paper, because ultimately sorry, the objective type paper, objective in the sense that the MCQs are there. The reason why this is not a subjective, because they don't want you to be the lawyer, they just want you to know some concept of the law. That is enough for them for the ECCA. Okay, fine. Now I will be telling you that what are the things that you have to do. There will be some do and don't things. The very first thing that we will be ensuring in the class that we are better on the side or the well versed with the law vocabulary. Okay, because there are certain things, there are certain concepts, there's certain uh, terminologies that we have to take care of. Okay, hello.
Yep. Okay.
Samvit, are you there? Samvit, are you there?
Yes, yes. Yes.
So may I request you to please be there and just acknowledge the things that we are moving ahead, okay? As we are moving ahead.
Yes.
So the second thing that we have to look forward when we will be going. So the second thing, the same thing, try to understand the question requirement in the context of the law, which is slightly different, from what we get out of reading it from the English context. Okay. Okay. If you guys can able to knock on these two things very well, this people will be clear in a very first go.
Law
If someone,
vocabulary, law vocabulary, you mean like just the meaning of the words?
no, I mean to convey there are some terminologies, some concept which you need to take care of. Okay, there's certain word which would be meaning something different when you will be learning in the context of the law instead of the place
Okay.
of the English. So this is what the difference. The two same things are there. So you have to ensure that the better way to call this, the summarize these two sentences, that better to understand everything in the context of the law and have a enrich vocabulary, whatever that is there in your kit or in your practice
Okay.
of the notebook. Okay.
Okay.
So they are the three resources from where we will be having practice: Kaplan, BPP, and ACC Stadium. Okay. ACC Stadium. I will be covering questions from the Kaplan and I will be giving you the BPP and ACC Stadium question. The planner I have selected or just prepared for you. So there is nothing to worry about. Okay. But what I mean to convey, when you will be practicing, so you do not have to limit. What I can say,
Okay.
completing all these three areas, we will be completing at least 1000 question, and that will be more than enough to understand the context, the mind of the examiner, and how they basically plan up the question. What are the ticker point that we have to look around? Okay, after completing all these 3 years, we would be in a better position to deal or not on these areas. Is it clear?
Okay. Yes.
Now, after the lecture, when you will be just going through the summary note that I will be taking the lecture from, and when you will be completing the question which are there, the question, the Kaplan question, and then I will be giving you some of the, because the Kaplan question I will be doing by myself in the class, the BPP and the ACC Stadium, I will be assigning to you the daily homework. And then if there would be any question which you want to discuss in the class, you can just post in the group, and then I will be having a discussion over here. So those two things are on you, the Kaplan kit and the lectures and the giving the concept is on me, okay?
Okay.
But what I mean to convey that you have to complete all three practice kit. Out of three, I will be taking one, two is going to be your homework, okay?
Okay.
I will be telling you when you have to do which portion of the kit or the ECC stadium after completing the lecture, after doing certain topics. The next thing that you have to take care of, there are certain things like examiner report and technical article. I can assure you guys there, if you guys can able to do these two things with me, not just for this paper, this is the only thing that I will suggest you for each and every paper of the ACCA. If you can do to read at least two latest examiner report and technical article, all the important technical article, you're boosting your passing chances by 10 to 15% minimum. Okay.
Okay. What is
So
the
these
examiner report?
so
and
basically
the
examiner report,
technical article?
I will be okay. Siddhant, do you know what are these two reports are?
I've heard of them, but I don't think I've used them.
Hmm. Something you have to add on over here. So basically, examiner report, every time you appear for the paper, because ultimately the 4 papers are the on-demand papers. Other than that, you will be having the papers on the quarter-wise basis, right? So whenever you're going to
Yeah.
sit for the exam, they're the group of the people who are going to attempt for each quarter. Okay. After that quarter, examining team basically got your script and they basically mark them. Hana? So they basically analyze what was the major issues that the student has done, what are the areas that they can have improved. A better way to call this is in reading the mind of the examiner. Okay, the one who is going to check your paper will going to prepare a report talking about how was the attempt of the paper, who has attempted the paper, and basically what they've done, what are the things which you can improve, and what is the right way of approaching. There you will be seeing that some student has done something great, some student has done something wrong. So catching on the great thing and that's removing or eliminating the wrong thing and just improving the suggestion what has been given by the examiner or the ECC team is something that you have to take from the examiner report. Okay. And the technical article is basically the article which provide you some extensive knowledge about that area. And these are the two important resources which I would be requesting both of you, because in your law paper there won't be any many, right? There will be like 2 or 3 limited resources, but in your other paper of the ACCA, these are the two important resources which you have to do, because ultimately the paper in your, if I talk about the advanced paper of the ACCA, the AAA paper, the SBR paper, those papers basically up to 30 to 40% of the paper basically comes out of your technical article. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the two things that I want, and I want to pay emphasis on, and I would be requesting you to incorporate Siddhant, okay? And Samit, you will be following this instruction throughout your all paper of the ACCA.
Okay.
After completing all the topic or all the chapters that we do have, I will be conducting a one live mock, and then I will be assigning the 3 or 4, whatever the available mock. But I will be conducting one live mock where I will be sitting with you, and then we will read a question and just try to point out what are the trigger point and what are the things that they're trying to glitch on, and then we will figure out. We will all three we will attempt the mock together. Okay, the live mock.
Okay. Okay.
Done, Siddhant?
Live mock means
Yes, sir.
we'll keep a 2 hour timer and we'll try to finish it in there.
Yeah. So
Like
we
that.
basically we will put the 2
Okay.
hours timer. We will just open a question over here over the screen. We will read the question. We
Yeah,
will
okay.
try to guesstimate what is an answer. Then I will have the explanation and I will put my explanation together. Then we will move ahead.
Okay.
Done?
Yes.
So what are the resources that you will be having? So resources, if I talk about the sources, so you will attend the live lectures. Okay. Then revise the study text, the one that we are going to use in the lectures. Okay. We will solve the Kaplan kit in the class only. Then I will give you the homework from the BPP and Studium. Examine report and technical article. This is something we will do at the later side, and then we will attempt the one mock. Okay. Guys, are you understanding what I mean to convey?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the course, the content will be the content we will cover. The content that is going to be the main thing we will going to cover through the book, and after that, by the end of the course you will be having completing at least 1000 of the question, and believe me, after completing this 1000 question, the approx question you will be having, if you're going to count, this will be going to 1200 1400, but at least you would be completing 1000 questions. This is what I have planned, the syllabus of the things I have planned accordingly. And if you could able to deal with this 100 questions, so you would be in a better position to deal or at least observe what are the takeaway points that you're going to use. Okay, this will further help you when you would be knowing the concept, and when you would be in a better position to read or just check on what are the things that you're trying to play. It would be easier for you to deal any question that will be coming, even though that might be set it for the very first time, but you would be in a better position to deal with that question. Is that okay?
Yes.
Sure. So I think we are less than 2 minutes now. I would be requesting you to please rejoin through the same link, because I'm not using the upgraded version of the Zoom call. So you might have to do this, and you have to wait till the time we would not be having the Zoom upgraded version. Okay. So we will be taking a 5 minute break after this, and then we'll join back. Is that okay?
So
Is there anything that you
4:45,
wanted to discuss till now? Siddhant and Samit, is there anything that is there any discussion point till now?
No.
Siddhant?
No, sir.
Sure. So I will be taking a break now, and we will join after 5 minutes. So what is the time it is now? We will be joining at 4:45. Is it okay?
Yes. So
And then we will just try to wrap up the portion which is there, and then I will explain and then move toward, or
Can
at
you
least
go
if
to
we can.
the topic sheet
Sorry.
little bit up? The sessions, I just want to see the session list, that 18 sessions that you have marked. Can I just see those?
Sure. So basically, the topic is something that I will be putting on,
Yeah.
but this is what the sessions I have planned initially. If they would be requiring one or two more sessions in the last, then we can plan up the things. I basically have keep the 7 days empty till 10th of July, the day where I have to just wrap up the course. Okay. This is a
Yeah.
tentative
Okay.
figure for the time being,
okay.
because
Understood.
ultimately, max we will be taking 40 hours to complete the course. 18 session, it does mean that 36 hours I have already counted, but ultimately we will see that are you on a comfort side or not. I will ensure that you are fully prepared for the paper and you're just going to sit for the exam the next week, then we will be wrapping that. Okay. After
Got
this,
it.
if suppose if we are going to end the session by 5th July, so all I would ask you to take a 15 days gap and just revise up the certain things, do attempt some question by yourself, and then book the exam and just pass the paper. Okay.
Okay.
May I request both
Got
of you to rejoin the class after the 5 minutes? So we will be joining at
Sure.
4:45. Okay.
Sure.
Sure. ठीक है, bye.
Okay.
Okay.